That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, one of the most interesting phenomena ever in the history of television happened with Suits, a show that finished its run kind of very quietly. I think it was on the USA Network or something like that. Mm-hmm. Had a very quiet but long run, right? But not a lot of people saw it. And then I think 4 or 5 years after it finished, it became the #1 show in the world with new life on Peacock and Netflix. And all of a sudden, the entire planet watched it, and it became the #1 streaming show in the world for like a record set number of weeks. Everybody just watched it. So it's not a big surprise that they're bringing Suits back. Maybe not the way everybody wanted it. They wanted Harvey back and all that kind of stuff. But we're getting Suits LA with Oliver Queen himself, Stephen Amell, playing the new lead. And by the way, Harvey Specter is going to be making some appearances in a couple of episodes as well. It happens in the same universe as the other Suits. Well, the reviews are now coming out, and they're awful. For example, Variety runs its headline, Suits LA should be held in contempt.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Wow, that is a great
pun
headline.
is awful. I will not sustain that pun.
Where they actually say, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Stephen Amell. I'll always be a supporter of Stephen Amell. But the Variety reviewer comes around and says Stephen Amell, who is horribly miscast in this series. Eesh. And now, granted, they confirm in the review, they themselves affirm that we are basing this review on the first 3 episodes. That's all they gave us to watch. So they've made sure they gave the disclaimer. Everything we're going to say is the first 3 episodes. Maybe the character evolves and they got a longer runtime, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? It's not just Variety. Rotten Tomatoes, as of this morning, has got a 36% on it. And you know, first of all, I've been humming all day in the shower and everything. Do 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 piece of pie for your wife. I love that opening. Yeah, there it is. We're done.
It wasn't me for once with my swearing.
I love that opening music. It gets stuck in my head and now it's there. And I even like the concept of doing, hey, this universe, some loosely connected characters doing it in LA, because last one we had a thing. But the main thing I've read in a lot of the reviews was basically this. It's got all the catchy tropes that the original Suits had, but the problem is that those are all just fluff unless they're anchored in main characters you immediately attach yourself to and have great chemistry together. And they're saying that's just the general consensus seems to be this show is missing that. It's that their main characters aren't particularly engrossing, and the chemistry that you had between Mike and Harvey, it was Mike, right? Yeah. Mike and Harvey, that was made that show. From the get-go. And Donna. Like, of course, I'm Donna. She's one of the great supporting characters ever. But they just say, it's other than that, with that missing, a lot of these reviewers are saying it's just another lawyer show. Now, I haven't watched episode 1 yet. Again, it's a Stephen Amell show, so and I love Suits, so I'm going to check it out myself. But I'm basically just relaying everything I've seen other reviewers say. And I'll tell you what, Chris, based on nothing, I was really expecting the reviews of Suits LA to be glowing. I don't know why. I just was. You had a lot of the people behind the original Suits series running this one. And I'm kind of surprised to seeing this. Are you surprised to see what we're seeing, or is this what you expected?
No, I'm surprised and I'm disheartened, especially because back in August of 2024, they moved production from Vancouver here to LA. So I also am very invested in this of, no, we need shows to film here.
Yeah.
Please be good. Please be good. For the love of God, be good. So this is upsetting. I like Stephen Amell a lot. I think he is a wonderful actor. I like this cast a lot too. Just this lineup here is really, really great. I'm hoping this show is better than what we're hearing. Maybe it just takes some time to get its footing, or, Jonathan has a great theory too.
What's that?
That this show is just not going to do well till it goes to streaming.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what did I say? Was it genius?
It was so smart.
Yeah, we got to go through a pandemic and then it'll hit
exactly.
it'll hit the
Then it'll start doing well. Yeah. I'm hoping that people are just maybe comparing it to the original Suits and just upset more so of, well, it's not my friends. These aren't my friends and I don't want to watch this show. And maybe they'll warm up to everybody. I'm wondering if that's just kind of the comparison issue of this is a spiritual successor and we do have some of the characters popping back up, but it is its own thing. So I'm wondering if we're having too much comparison in those reviews.
Maybe. Rob, were you expecting better for the? I don't think you and I've ever even talked about Suits. Did you watch the series?
Okay, I'll tell you about Suits. I started watching Suits because I watched a lot of Suits clips on YouTube.
So many shows get me that way.
I know, and it was the clip where he goes in and he first meets Harvey, and he's talking
from
about
the pilot, yeah.
from the pilot, and he can quote chapter and verse these law books, and I'm like, that's what got me watching the show. And it was after I started. I think I'd watched the first 2 seasons, and then suddenly the news came out that everybody was watching Suits, and then some of the cast was upset, like, I'm not getting paid for any of this. And then, like, I understand that, but your deal, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate, is over. You know, and the fact that Suits had this resurgence in its second life is something that proves you got to be very careful when you're negotiating something in the streaming world. But then again, the deals had changed because that was a broadcast show that became a streaming show.
Yeah.
But that show, it petered out for me as it went along. I think like the first 4 seasons maybe were the best.
After Mike went to jail, the show kind of lost something for me after that. I still watched all of it, but it was peak Suits up until he went to jail.
And the thing is, it's hard to sustain that kind of a show. And I'm a sucker for legal dramas. Sucker.
Me too.
I mean, I loved LA Law. I loved 2 seasons of Murder 1. I mean, give me
Didn't
a great
you even like
legal
Boston Legal?
drama. Come on.
Oh, I loved Boston Legal.
The Practice.
Come on, Shatner and
Denny Crane.
And Denny Crane, one of the great characters.
Crane,
And
good for good
now Matlock.
And now Matlock.
I'm still loving Matlock.
Yeah, because
That's
you
good.
have a built-in conflict thing that is irresistible. I used to love The Defenders with E.G. Marshall when I was a little kid.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Kikoff. Man, time flies, doesn't it? 1 minute, you're reminiscing about your last vacation, and the next, you're thinking about major life goals, like buying a car, getting that dream home. But if your credit isn't where it needs to be, those goals can feel out of reach. And that's where Kikoff comes in, the #1 credit building app in the App Store that makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free to build credit fast. And that's exactly why I love Kikoff. They give you a credit line for just building credit, not for spending. Your on-time payments get reported to the 3 major credit bureaus, helping you improve your credit mix and payment history, 2 of the biggest factors in credit growth. If your credit is under 600, you could see a jump of about 28 points in your first month. No credit check, no hidden fees, no interest, just smart credit building. Building credit can happen faster than you expect with Kikoff. Don't wait. Get your first month for just $1 at getkikoff.com/Campea. That's kickoff without the C. Get 80% off at getkikoff.com/Campea. Must sign up via getkickoff.com/Campea to activate offer. Offer applies to new customers first month only, subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply. Point stat based on Equifax Vantage Score 3.0 changes for Kickoff users starting under 600 who made their first on-time payment between January of 2021 and March of 2024. Payment and credit activity outside Kickoff can have an impact on your credit. Individual results may vary. All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The first reviews for Suits LA, granted, only based on the first 3 episodes, are now out and they're not looking so good. Are you surprised? Did you see the debut episode? What did you think about it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.